the unique feature that we have in Jago actually is something called pockets.
Not a podcast.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
okay.
Yeah. So how pockets work is actually we want to be able to give our customers context on what the money they are saving for is about, right?
Hai Sobat Cuan, apa kabar? Selamat datang di Podcast Cuap Cuap Cuan. Ketemu lagi bareng Maria Katarina di sini. Dan pastinya kita akan ngobrolin banyak hal dan end up-nya adalah kita ngomongin soal cuan, kita ngomongin soal profit ya. Kita akan ngobrol banyak apalagi soal masalah perkembangan bank digital di Indonesia. Dan salah satu pemain besar yang ada di Indonesia dan ikut berkompetisi dalam pertumbuhan bank digital di Indonesia adalah Bank Jago. Jadi tidak usah lama-lama, saya akan langsung saja memperkenalkan karena hari ini kita akan ngobrol-ngobrol tentang bagaimanakah transformasi, elaborasi dari bank digital di Indonesia dan bagaimanakah juga menjawab kebutuhan masyarakat Indonesia. Saya sudah bersama dengan Nicholas Tan, Head of Retail Banking Business Bank Jago. Hai Nicholas.
Hai Sobat Cuan, apa kabar?
Oh wow, this is nice. That's all?
Yeah, my name is Nicholas. I run the retail business in Jago. So my team and I are responsible for bringing to Indonesia the Jago app, and we're responsible for helping to make everyone in Indonesia the experts of managing their money through the digital services that we bring to you in the Jago app.
Oh yeah, welcome to our podcast.
Thank
Nicholas, thank you for your times. And I would like to say thank you Bang Jago yang sudah support juga our podcast today. So, Nicholas, how are you? Great?
I'm good. How are you?
And how is the business going on?
The business is good. I think we're starting to see a lot more traction in the market. I think digital banking is a lot more commonplace in Indonesia now. And I think the features and functionalities that we've been bringing in the Jago app and through our partners is really starting to take shape. A lot more customers are really enjoying our features, and we see a lot more people saving and transacting with us today.
Okay. Let's talk about the business. Let's talk about the Bank Jago in Indonesia. It's around 4 years, right? In Indonesia. Right. So we started from the OJK data. From OJK, digital bank users have grown by more than 30%. In the past 2 years. So in the Bank Jago perspective, in your perspective, in today digital's era, access to financial services has become easier. But in reality, many people still struggle with managing their money. In other words, in Indonesia, many Indonesian people use the banking products, they use the app, but without understanding how to propose to financial goals. Yeah. So from your perspective, what do you think about these problems in Indonesia?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So in my mind and in the Jago team, what we believe really is financial access is not the only thing that is important. Of course, with digital banking, digital apps, a lot more Indonesians are able to get access to financial service products. But at the same time, people need to be educated and people really need to understand how to use these products, right? So just because you give someone access to being able to take a loan, for example, doesn't necessarily mean it is a good thing for them, because if they don't understand how to utilize the loan to really make their life better, right? They could get themselves into a lot of trouble, getting into debt and so on. In the same way, investment products are definitely useful for many people, but at the same time, if they are not fully understanding the investment space, that will be a problem for them. Yeah.
In your perspective or opinion, how do you see the characteristics of customers in Indonesia, especially when people use the digital banking in Indonesia, what they choosing for, they need it for their saving or they keep the money or financial goals?
So I think obviously, many of our customers use digital banking apps for transactions on a day-to-day basis, right? They like the convenience of being able to pay with QR, with our debit card, right? At all of the merchants that they are spending their money on today. But at the same time, we see them using the Jago app for a lot of saving purposes. And the unique feature that we have in Jago actually is something called pockets.
Not a podcast.
That's right. Yeah. So how pockets work is actually we want to be able to give our customers context on what the money they are saving for is about, right? So if a customer, for example, sees that they have 10 million rupiah in their bank account, that's just 10 million rupiah, right? But if they're able to assign a purpose to that money, I'm saving 10 million rupiah in order to purchase my next, my next motorcycle, right? Or I'm saving 10 million rupiah for my child's tutoring lesson. That becomes a lot more powerful, and it allows them to better build the habit around saving with the Jago app.
Okay. If we see the characterize of the people's using digital banks, the growth is very massive. So people's or customers, they have a lot of choice to choose the digital banking they want or they need it. Maybe they just take a first advantage, they benefit. After that, they delete it and so on. So what is the Bank Jago concerns about that? How to maintain loyal customers to still use the many advantages that Bank Jago has in their applications or the apps?
Yeah. So I think there are two main things. One is we definitely want to focus on developing features in the Jago app that customers really appreciate, right? We need to solve a real problem that customers are facing with the features that we develop in the Jago app. So before we go and start developing a feature, we actually do a lot of customer research. We speak to customers in the market. We try to understand what are the challenges they have with managing their finances today. And we come up with some new innovations that can help them to manage the finances better. The second thing is we position ourselves very deeply in the digital ecosystem in Indonesia. So one of the key advantages that Jago has is we have a lot of partners in the digital ecosystem like GoPay, Bibit, Stockbit, etc. Right? So we also understand that users today, they don't just use a digital banking app. They also use a lot of other digital features in their day-to-day life. So we want to be deeply embedded in other digital ecosystems like GoPay, like Bibit, Stockbit. So as a user, when you use your GoPay, you can easily utilize your Jago account to pay. If you try and start investing with Bibit and Stockbit, you can also start as small as 10,000 rupiah using your Jago account to fund those investments.
Make a customer life easier.
That's right.
In it for a payment or something. But somehow, sometimes people know the importance of savings and investing, but they still find it hard to stay consistent. How to Bank Jago switch the two things, like you can do saving and you can do investing at the same time with the connecting to another providers, as you see?
Yeah. So I think it really depends on the time frame, right, that people are saving for, right? As well as what the goals that they have in mind are. So there will definitely be things that people are saving for that are more short term, right? So I want to save to purchase, let's say, pay for my rent, right, next month. For those types of cases, we believe that the Jago products, right, our savings account, our term deposit products deliver the most value, where we give them some interest rate, but also gives them the flexibility to take their money and make a payment in a short period of time. But there are also longer term goals that people want to save for, right? They want to save for retirement, they want to save for a mortgage, in which case we believe that they could get better returns as well if they invest in mutual funds, they invest in the stock market. And that's where we want to make our lives, the lives easier for our customers with the integration that we have with these partners.
How the growth in not only use the Bank Jago for saving but for investing too. How do you see the growth, the potential growth for to connect the two things like saving and investing?
Yeah. I think we've grown really well. Actually, in our collaboration with Bibit and Stockbit, probably about half of our users actually are utilizing investing features through our partners. And what we see is as people get more familiar and more comfortable with investing, they are also saving more money with Jago. So overall, they are actually benefiting us, they're benefiting themselves, they're also benefiting the partners that we work with.
Okay, Nicholas, do you think banks or financial applications have been relatable enough in their approach to users? Or do they still feel complicated and disconnected from people's daily lives?
Yeah, I think many digital banks have been making very good progress in this space. So a lot of digital banks focus on making the user experience more smooth. They use terminology that is a bit more understandable by the day-to-day customers that they have. So they are trying to make banking services less intimidating, right? And I think a lot of them are making good progress in the area. That being said, I feel like there is still a disconnect between banking services and the user's day-to-day life most of the time, right? So even though the digital banking app is easier for me to use, but I will still think of banking as a separate activity from my day-to-day activities, right? With Jago, what we're trying to address is exactly that, which links to our collaborations with the partners that we have. So our intention really is to be able to be part of the customers' day-to-day lives.
Okay.
So, for example, we launched a product a year and a half ago called GoPay Tabungan.
GoPay Tabungan, okay.
That's right. So GoPay Tabungan is an integrated product in GoPay. It's a Jago product where customers are able to put their money in. They can use that account to transact on all of the go-to services, right? Use it similar to e-money, but they start to earn an interest on that product. They can also save more in that account versus a traditional e-money account. So we try to be a lot more embedded in the customer's day-to-day lives. So we don't position ourselves as a completely different activity to the customer.
Okay. We talk very detailed about the one-on-one, the segment or the activity that people's or customer get it in Bank Jago, especially pockets. What is envelope budgeting?
Yes.
Pocket feature this come about. Maybe you can talk more about the pocket or envelope budgeting in Bank Jago.
That's right. So how this came about actually, before we started building Jago, or in the early days of building Jago, we spoke to a lot of customers in the market, a lot of Indonesians in the market, and we realized that the way that many people manage their money is through envelopes, right? So the envelope concept where I have one envelope for my groceries, I have one envelope for my kids' education fees.
The real envelope,
the
right?
real envelope,
real
right?
Envelope,
a real envelope, and I keep all of that in my bedside table,
Yes.
for example, right? And as we spoke to more and more people, we realized that that is really, really good conventional wisdom, right, in managing money that has come up through years and years of experience in many, many families in Indonesia. And what we wanted to do was we wanted to be able to expand that concept and allow everybody to benefit from that concept in a much more convenient way using a digital app. So after a lot of thinking and brainstorming, that's where the pocket concept came about.
Okay.
Where we allow our customers actually to create multi-pockets in the Jago app. You can do that instantly, right? And for every pocket that you create, you can name the pocket for the purpose that you want. You can create a nice image to link to that pocket, for example. So again, similar to the envelopes, you can have a pocket for your child's education, for your groceries, etc. And you can put the specific money for that purpose only in that pocket.
And you can log in.
That's correct. So as we spoke to more and more customers, we also extended the pocket concept in two ways. One is the lock pocket feature like you're mentioning. So we realized that people also needed more discipline to save. So we wanted to provide an experience where customers can set aside money. They know it's safe, right? And they know that it is being saved for the future, earning a slightly higher interest rate than a regular pocket. So that's the lock pocket feature. We also developed a shared pocket feature. So what we realized also with many families in Indonesia is money management is a shared activity, right? So within the family, multiple people want to contribute to the finances, right? So we actually created a shared pocket feature where multiple Jago customers can actually save and spend from a single pocket. So if you have your kids, you have your husband, right? You can have a shared pocket with them, and you can both save in that, and you can both spend from that pocket.
I see. If you talk to yourself, oh, why it's so hard for me to saving? No, Bang Jago have a tools on that, right?
Right.
So okay. Very interesting. So we see that many people want to start investing, but don't know where to begin and how. They don't know. So how does Jago help users to take a small step without being afraid? And it's so hard. You know, and right now in Indonesia, we have a lot of issues about the economic. We have a lot of issue about the slowdowns of purchasing powers in Indonesia. And people say always, oh, I don't think about investing, but saving is so hard, not for investing. How Jago say it?
Yeah, so we have a combination of products depending on the type of customers that we have to try and help people make very small steps into saving and investing more. So on the Jago app, you will have savings pockets. So savings pockets allow you to earn a slightly higher interest rate, right? But you cannot directly spend from that pocket. The next step is if you want a bit more discipline, you have a little bit more savings to start with. You have the lock pocket that you were mentioning earlier. So you can start putting slightly bigger amounts of money in a lock pocket as the next step. For the next step, we have our term deposits, right? So it's a term deposit feature where customers can put 1 million rupiah and above, right? And earn, up to 6.5% interest. The benefit, understanding the difficulty for saving in the market, the benefit of our term deposit is if you, for any reason, have to break that term deposit during the period that you put the money in, we don't actually charge any penalty.
Ooh,
so
okay.
We try to make sure that customers save, but at the same time, it's a low risk for them, right, to try it out. So I think that's what we have in the Jago app. We also work with our partners to really try and encourage people to save more and invest more. So with Bibit and StockBit, we allow our customers to invest as little as 10,000 rupiah, right, in a mutual fund. So starting really small, trying to understand and feel comfortable about investing in mutual funds, in stocks. That's something that we're able to do with our partners. At the same time, with GoPay, we have created a product on top of GoPay Tabungan. It's a product called GoPay Simpanan. So this is a product that any user in GoPay can actually open, and they can put money aside. So if you have additional money from your spending, right, on GoPay, you can actually choose to put some of that money aside into GoPay Simpanan, which again earns you a slightly higher interest rate, but you can withdraw it at any time if you really need the money. So we're trying to take small steps and lower the risk for people to invest, for people to save more and more over time.
Yeah, if we talk about the 10,000, it's just only to pay your heart, maybe.
That's right. That's
right.
Yeah.
But you can do that money for investing.
That's right. Wow. And that money really adds up, right? So if you put 10,000 a day, by the end of the year, you'll have a lot more than that, and you have a lot more things you can do with that money. Yeah.
So how is the data? How the customers has or have a good literate about that, so that if they use Jago, they get many things that you said.
Yeah. So I think we work with our partners to try and educate the customers. So I think Bibit, StockBit, they do a lot of work on their end to also introduce investing to customers. On the Jago side, as customers sign up for Jago, we also are increasingly personalizing the way that we talk to our customers. So depending on your profile, depending on how much savings you have, we are able to recommend our customers certain products that we think are more beneficial or could be beneficial for them, or at least educate them about other products that we have that could benefit them.
So for the next, what the other features were designed to truly address real user problems? We know in my data is including Jago Sharia.
That's right.
The mostly peoples in Indonesia is mostly Muslim peoples.
That's right. So Jago Sharia is definitely one of the other things that we developed to try and address customers' needs. This started sometime in 2022 when we launched the Jago Sharia app. And the pain point that we found in the market was, like you said, I think a lot of customers in the market, they would like to get financial products that follow Sharia principles. However, many times they need to make a trade-off between the convenience of a digital app and products that have in line with Sharia principles. There are not that many Sharia digital banks that's available today. And so in order to address that pain point and in order to ensure that customers get both the benefits, right? The benefits of a convenient digital app similar to the conventional Jago app, but at the same time can trust that their finances are in products that are fully supported by Sharia principles. That's where we launched the Jago Sharia app.
Since Bank Jago launched Jago Sharia 2022 until right now 2025, how is the growth and how's the people's experience on that apps?
Yeah. The growth is really good. I think when we monitor comments on social media and the comments from customers that we speak to, we have a lot of positive sentiment. I think a lot of Sharia users appreciate the convenience of the Jago app, the innovations that we have introduced, which is not very readily available, I think, combining with Sharia banking products. So the take-up has been really good, and the customers that have signed up for Jago Sharia actually are very loyal customers of Jago.
One of the loyal customers is going to Jago Sharia.
That's right.
Okay. Jago is known for being quite active in innovation. But of course, we know every technology trend should be followed, right? What core principles guide the team in selecting new features or innovation? What next from Bank Jago?
Yeah. So I think one of the core principles that we have when we look at innovation is we definitely want to push the boundaries of innovation, and we want to utilize technology at the forefront of new technology, new developments. But more importantly, whatever we develop, whatever innovations that we have, has to benefit the customer at the end of the day, right? We don't want to develop innovations for the sake of innovation, right? We don't want to just chase market trends when actually the customers don't really benefit from that. And so we are careful when we think about new innovations that we want to launch. We spend a good amount of time speaking to actual customers in the market, trying to understand how they behave and what their challenges are today. That is where we can actually take our knowledge in new technologies to think of ways to solve the customer challenges with these new technologies. So every innovation that we have is always based on a customer challenge, a customer pain point that we have seen. And that's the real guiding principle that we have been following when we think about innovation for the Jago app.
Okay. If we see the populations in Indonesia, we know Indonesia still has a big unbankables and underbanked populations. So what role does Bank Jago want to play in solving that problems? That maybe not overall in Indonesia bankable, but many things in the second tier or the third tiers in Indonesia, unbankables.
Yeah. So I think the way that we have built the Jago app, again, it's very much based on the conventional wisdom of the envelope methodology of managing money combining that with digital technology to make it more accessible for people. So for people in the tier 2, tier 3 cities which may not have a bank account today, I think we have the ability to make this type of money management methodology available to them through the digital app. And because it can be distributed through a digital app, it's a lot more accessible for the people in these cities, right, and towns in Indonesia. So we see that that is our way of being able to reach out to the unbankable or underbanked population, providing them the access to banking products through our digital app, but at the same time, providing them some degree of education and literacy using the pocket concept that we have built in the app.
Okay. From Bang Jago perspective, what is the biggest challenge to growth in Indonesia to take to have still the top of minds digital banks in Indonesia, and how hard it is to keep survive, to keep a choice in Indonesia?
Yeah. So I think one of the challenges that we see is we're still fairly new in the market, right? We've been around for about 4 years. I think many of the incumbent banks have been around for tens of years, right? And many people still believe that, I think there is still a question in people's minds about digital banks and some degree of trust in digital banks. And I think that's something that we are constantly improving on, trying to change customer perceptions and essentially educate customers that, Jago can be trusted. And I think it's actually very, very important because if you look at the team in Jago, we have actually combined a very strong set of skills, not just in the technology space in terms of digital technologies, but we also have a very, very core group of leaders that have also been bankers for many years. They have very strong background in managing risk, in ensuring that we follow the right set of regulations from the regulators. And so I think that's a benefit that we have. I think we are increasingly seeing customers trust us, and I think that will be a very positive kind of exponential effect that we'll see going forward.
Okay. In the next maybe 3 until 5 years, what is Jago big fiction through the development of this product? How Jago see the next generations needed to digital banking features or digital banking activity?
Yeah, so I think we have 2 big mission and vision statements, right, that we are looking to fulfill. So the first is our mission really is to try and enhance the lives of millions of Indonesians, right? And our longer term vision is we want to be the most loved bank. Most loved bank for Indonesians. And I think that can be interpreted in many ways, but for us, I think it gives us the conviction and the commitment to building an app, building features that really, again, addresses customers' needs, customers' challenges, delivering these features in a way that is as smooth as possible for the customers. And in order to enhance the lives of millions of Indonesians, I think we are going to continue doubling down on the savings and investment space in order to make that more and more accessible to people. One of the things that I think our customers and our users can look forward to really is we want to have a much more personalized approach to banking. We want Jago to be your trusted advisor, right, in this space, to give you the tools and the literacy and the knowledge to become an expert for yourself to manage your own money.
Okay, wow, this is a very good insight, perspective, but our time is up. Thank you so much for your time, Nicholas Tam, Head of Retail Banking Business Bang Jago. Thank you for your sharing and your insight for Cuap Cuap Cuan. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Dan mudah-mudahan ini bisa menjadi insight juga ya buat Sobat Cuan ya dalam memilih bank digital yang juga sesuai dengan kebutuhan Sobat Cuan, sekaligus bisa mengkonekkan investasi dan juga saving secara bersamaan. Kayaknya semua fiturnya lengkap ada di Bang Jago. Sekali lagi terima kasih banyak untuk Bang Jago yang sudah support podcast kita kali ini. Jangan lupa dengerin kita terus, ada di Spotify, kita ada di Instagram @cuap_cuan dan juga subscribe YouTube channel kita di Cuap Cuap Cuan, like, share dan juga komen. Thank you so much ya Sobat Cuan, Maria dan juga Nicholas. Say bye.
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 Thanks everyone.